and I'm gonna answer this, but I'm gonna say something before I answer it.
Please.
One of my skills, I think that I have, which is really good, is like I'm a really good mentee. And I actually just did a training about this a couple weeks ago. But a lot of people seek to have a good mentor, but they're not really a good mentee. And so, if you don't learn how to become a good mentee, then you miss a lot of lessons.
Right.
And so, one of the things I had to unlearn because I was under a new mentor, right, were some of the things I learned from a previous situation. But because I was a good mentee, I'm like, okay, you know what, there's a way to get to 6 figures a month, and I gotta learn how to do that. And so one of them was like how to encourage people. Like my there was a previous leadership style. I was like, yo, Dave, you gonna get it or not, bro? Like, you want this or not? Because you know what, if you ain't gonna do it, I can do it without you. And that actually moves some people, depending on their personality type, but then it throws most people off.
Yeah.
People like, bro, who you talking to? Or people like, I'm not even trying to compete with you, bro. Like, I'm just trying to learn how to do this.
Right.
But if that's the only way I communicate and talk to people, so I had to learn. It's like, yo, I have to learn how to be an example, because my voice goes further if I'm not even telling you. I'm just like, yo, this is what I'm doing.
Right.
And so I learned that from my mentor over here, and it's like, yo, if I just do the things the right way consistently instead of trying to tell people, I'll go much further. So like, I really had to bust my butt, and I'm like, I'm pretty good at what I do. And I was like, I was working, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's the thing I was just talking about, like working it and not seeing the progress. Like the year before, I was at 10,000 a month the entire year. Then I come into last year. And I'm like, yo, I'm about to do the same stuff. But I looked at my calendar. I looked at some things and that was one thing I learned, like really having a calendar of activity. And I looked at all the soft spots in my calendar from the last year. I was like, yo, I really kind of took off in the summer last year. I didn't realize it going through the year, but when I looked at my calendar, I was like, I really didn't do nothing June, July, August. I was just kind of chilling. So all the spots I had, dead spots in the year before, I said, okay, I'm going to go heavy. I went to the Bob Proctor event, right? I invested the money into going to that event. And I took away that one lesson. All right, cool. I'm gonna let it go. I done spent $1,000. I'm gonna come here. I'm gonna be here. And then I went to work. And then it was the same year, but now the results 10 times themselves.
Yeah.
So that for me was kind of one of the things I didn't really know how to do. Like, yo, how do I motivate people to do this stuff? And it's like, yo, you don't really have to motivate them. You're just trying to find the right ones that are motivated and run with them. And I stopped trying to force people. I used to have this thing where, because you my friend and you sharp and you can speak well, I want you to win.
Right.
But they could be this person that's just really got the heart and they're really doing the stuff, but I've been ignoring them because I've been focusing on you.
Yeah.
And it's, you know what I'm saying. But it's like,
100%.
and that's what I used to do in the business. Like, oh man, this person's a doctor. They're about to kill. Oh, I got this celebrity. I'm like, all right, you know what? I've been doing this for a long time. I ain't seen a celebrity bust a grape yet.
Right.
Why am I happy about it? Motivational speakers coming. They don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, why am I all excited about, you know what, I need to get excited about people like me. Like, people that's just like, you know what, I want it. And when I started doing that, I started putting my attention on the right people and really developing them, working with them, spending time with them, and like, yo, I'm going to really show you everything that I know. Yeah. And you start doing that enough, then they like, yo, okay, it's working for me. You got to prove what you're doing works.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, people ask, like, what's the run to play? And like, because it's not even a team name, it's just a mantra. Because people used to ask us, bro, what do you do? What do you do? Bro, I just ran to play. It's a simple thing. You just run this joint, and you get the results.
Right.
But you don't run it for 90 days. You don't run it I run it all the time.
Right. Never. So, what is this play? What is the run? Because I see the play. I see the jacket. I see the chain.
Yeah.
What is run the play? Is there like a formula, steps?
No, it's really being teachable and coachable to what the play is at that moment. So like, there's sometimes me like, it's like, hey Justin, let's put on an event or let's do this. And I tell people, you got to run the play, not question it. So like in football, it's not just one play. It's multiple plays. Like, hey, this time you blocking. Like, I'm blocking. Yeah.
You got to learn the play.
Yeah,
right?
You got to learn it, right? And it's like, okay, I got to block this time, but I really want to go get this touchdown. Yeah, but this ain't your time to get the touchdown. Like, inside of an organization, everybody has a role to play. And if everybody plays their role, then the whole entire organization can win. So it's that aspect of it. Like, first you got to learn to play, right? And then you gotta learn how to run it. effectively and get coaching throughout the process. So whether that's doing presentation, whether that's promoting events, that was another thing I learned too, because in my previous company, I didn't really like it. Like events was almost like a money thing. And it was like, yeah, I just kind of got burnt out with events. It was like you charging people all this money.
Oh, because the goal is to make money.
Yeah, I'm like, yo, and that's not my heart. Like, I love the training piece of it, and I know how to do that really well. I got to do a whole weekend training like the back of my head. But I was like, man, I don't really like doing that joint. And so when I came over to this company in this environment, I didn't really want to promote events because of my last exposure to events. And it was like, no, that ain't it.
That.
This is why we do it.
This.
Like I've done events, bro, where I lose money. Yeah, I'm like, yo, I got an event in Miami. I got a nice house I rented. Then I got a yacht that holds like 300 people. We doing, and I pay for the whole joint. And I'm like, back in the day, I'd have been like, okay, 75.
Am I gonna get my money back?
Like, not only can I make my money back, can I make something? Can I make a couple dollars? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like, y'all just come. Because I realize the point of the event ain't about making money. I'll make money from the event, but not from the event.
So that's more serving on a higher level.
It's just a whole different mindset. Yeah. So it's learning how to move people, and so like running a play is like there's been times I've been like that I may be like, I don't know about that, but I'm gonna run it anyway. Mm-hmm. And I know there's some people they be like, I don't know about that, and they don't run it. Yeah. They do something else, and in this one of my leaders, Brittany, she said this best. If you're a player with the Lakers or you're players with Miami, it don't matter. All of them have a playbook, but you can't come from Miami and come to LA and try to run Miami playbook in LA. It's not that the Miami one is different, better or worse. It's just every organization, every team has a play to run. And if you're going to be successful in that environment, you have to be the best at executing that play. And if not, then you got to go find a play that you think works for you. So run a play is like a mantra of like just being teachable and coachable. Have your mentor tells you do this, go run it. Because they're not going to tell you to do something that's not for your benefit. And what I did was I literally ran the play. He said, Justin, do the presentation 4 to 6 times a week. I did it. I didn't say why or is there an easy way to do it. What if no? I just did it.
Yeah. So what have you learned? Because we had David on the show, man.